What if I told you that your best marketing strategy isn't a funnel, ad, or the algorithm? It's your brand. In today's episode, I'm breaking down why trust converts before tactics and how your brand is the true engine of your marketing. If you've ever launched something and heard crickets, or you're struggling to get off the ground and wondering how others seem to sell with ease, you'll want to listen to this episode of Brand for Good. Welcome to Brand for Good, the show for purpose-driven leaders who want to build timeless brands and create sustainable impact. I'm Lorraine Sugart, former PR and marketing executive turned founder of the disruptive agency Prosper for Purpose. I've worked with some of the world's most beloved brands, and I'm here to help you elevate your brand identity, visibility, influence, and impact. Are you ready to brand for good? Let's go. Welcome back to Brand for Good. I'm your host, Lorraine Sugart, and today we're unpacking something I believe every business owner, entrepreneur, and leader needs to hear. Your brand isn't just part of your marketing, it is your marketing. I know that might sound bold, but stick with me, because if you're out there hustling to generate leads, post content, write emails, show up on social, and still not seeing traction, this is probably the missing piece. Today, we're going to talk about how building trust through your personal brand is the smartest marketing move you can make, and how, when done well, your brand becomes the most powerful conversion asset you have. We'll start with the problem. For decades, brand and marketing have been treated like two separate things. Branding was the long game, your logos, your vision, your values. And marketing was looked at as the short game, your ads, your sales, your clicks, your direct response, emails, whatever that was. In this model, branding was for Fortune 500s. Marketing was for the rest of us, just trying to stay visible and hit our revenue goals. But that separation just doesn't work anymore. Today, attention is limited, trust is fractured, and buyers, well, they're skeptical, which means your brand, not the current tactic of the day, is what makes the difference between, that looks interesting, and take my money. Because people don't just buy what you offer, they buy into what you represent. Let's get honest. Most entrepreneurs don't have a marketing problem. They have a positioning problem, a messaging problem, a trust problem. They've skipped the brand building process and gone straight to execution. And I get it. It's fun and sexy to jump to the marketing part. The foundation stuff can feel a little bit heavy, but the result is the marketing sounds like everyone else's. So here's what I want you to take away. Marketing amplifies what's already there. Branding earns belief and trust, and belief is what leads to sales, referrals, retention, and resonance. If your brand isn't doing the heavy lifting, clarifying your value, building emotional connection, differentiating your voice, then your marketing is always going to feel like a struggle. You can't out-market a brand people don't understand or trust. Let me tell you, on the other hand, what happens when your brand is strong. People recognize you, they refer you, they remember you, and most importantly, they trust you before you make your next offer. I've seen brand-led business owners launch completely new offers, courses, retreats, products, and even sell out without a long pre-launch. Now, yes, those are some of the people that have been in the game for quite a while, but you can do what they do. They've built equity in their brand, not just recognition, but reputation. And this is completely different from being an influencer. This is not about viral content or trending sounds. It's about being known for something specific, valuable, and trustworthy. When your personal brand is rooted in clarity, consistency, and credibility, your marketing becomes a natural extension of that trust. Imagine two coaches, both launching a new mastermind. Coach A has a clear brand. She's known for her no fluff business insights and direct coaching style. Her audience sees her as a mentor. They engage with her content, talk about her in DMs, and refer her to others. Coach B has been focused on creating content, but it's scattered. One week she's sharing behind the scenes, the next she's promoting a freebie, then ghosting for a week. Her audience knows of her, but not really what she stands for. Now, guess who fills their program faster? Not because of ad spend, but because of brand trust. Your brand is basically your first conversion event. Most people think conversion starts when they make the offer, but no. The first conversion is attention. The second conversion is belief. And the third is the sale. Your brand is responsible for the first two. That means your content isn't just marketing, it's trust building. Your messaging isn't just promotion, it's positioning. If your brand is confusing, inconsistent, or too generic, people won't convert because they won't even believe that you're the right fit. So let's walk through 5 brand elements that can help make your marketing magnetic. The first one is your belief system. This is your point of view, your why, your core belief. People don't want to just buy solutions. They want to buy from people who see the world the way they do. So do this by sharing your why this matters content, challenging industry assumptions, and naming what you stand against. The second is positioning. This is the space you own in people's minds. So what are you known for? Who are you for? Build this by claiming a specific niche or transformation. Use distinct language that is somewhat ownable by your brand and is repeated often. And then explain your approach in a way that makes people think, that's for me. Number 3 is your promise. This is what you consistently deliver, not just your offer, but the outcome that your audience can expect. You build this by naming the result clearly in your bios, headlines, and your calls to action. Showing the transformation before and afters, and then delivering on it again and again. Number 4 is your authority presence. This is your credibility. Are you showing up like a leader? Are you demonstrating proof of results, mastery, and consistency? Now, all of this, just a quick disclaimer, has to be built on the brand that you see yourself as. This is a big part of the authority. If you see people online, it used to be dancing with reels. Now it's they're cooking while they're talking to you. They're driving or sitting in their car. They're doing their makeup. Don't just do that and think, okay, well, this is authority. This is being real. If that's not the image you want to portray, people get really messed up by this. And so I just want to throw that little side piece out there. You build authority by sharing your client wins, testimonials, and case studies, speaking or writing publicly, and then holding your voice with confidence. No more just like popping in posts. The next one is relational proof. So, do other people validate your work? What do clients say when you're not in the room? And you build this by encouraging reviews and referrals and actually sending out follow-ups to your clients to see how they would rate every step of your process so you know where you're strong and where you might need to step it up a notch. You also tell stories that include others. And then creating content from client FAQs and insights is another way. So by now, if you're realizing that your brand may not be pulling its weight in your marketing and you're ready to fix it, I want to invite you to my free upcoming workshop, Peerless and Profitable. This is where I'll teach you how to build a personal brand that commands trust and drives results without hustle, hype, or having to sound like everyone else online. If you're interested, this will be live. Go to peerlessandprofitable.com to save your seat. Okay, let's keep on going. Let's go deeper. You don't need more visibility. You need more influence. I talk about this a lot. One of the hills I will die on. Attention isn't really the value of our market right now. It's influence. Anyone can get attention for a brief amount of time, but influence is when people commit to engaging with you. They follow you on social, or they are following and subscribing to your podcast and other things. So influence is what makes your marketing convert. And influence is built by building expertise. So, do you know your stuff? Evidence. Can you show that what you do works? And perspective. Do you say something others don't? And so, here's my secret sauce here. Your perspective is often the most underrated branding approach that you have. You don't need to be the loudest or the most credentialed, but you do need to say something true, different, and meaningful, and say it consistently. That's how you go from being liked to being trusted. To build your brand through perspective, start by identifying your core belief. That's the idea that sits at the heart of your work and kind of the thing you want to be known for. And then ask yourself, what do I believe that's different from others in my space? What frustrates me about the way my industry operates? And what results have I created that others haven't talked about? Your content should become the public expression of your conviction. It's not about posting more content, it's about posting the right content and doing it with purpose. So here's a truth bomb. Most personal brands are too personal and not enough positioned. People fall into the trap of thinking they need to be relatable to be trusted. So they share the day in the life content, which is fine. Behind the scenes is good, but just in limited quantities. They talk about their pets and coffee and struggles and hope that always showing up with this behind the scenes and this real talk about life and their struggles will equal conversion. But the truth is, relatable is not the same as reliable. People will like you. You may get more engagement on your social than your closest competitor, but that doesn't mean that you're getting more sales. If you want to be trusted, be valuable, be insightful, and be clear. And that's what builds a brand that can become your marketing machine. So here's your takeaway and some final thoughts for today. You probably don't need better marketing. You need a clearer, more concise and compelling brand. And your brand needs to build trust, drive influence, and make selling feel natural. And if you're tired of shooting into the void, or you feel that your marketing efforts aren't working, it's time to stop tweaking tactics and start strengthening your foundation. Your brand is your marketing. It's what drives connection. It's what builds credibility, and it's what turns strangers into buyers before they read your latest sales page. And if you're ready to build that kind of brand, I'd love for you to join me in Peerless and Profitable. Just go to peerlessandprofitable.com and save your seat for my free live event. And I'll walk you through part of the exact framework I've used with purpose-driven leaders to grow their authority, impact, and, of course, their income. So until next time, build boldly, lead with purpose, and keep on building a brand for good. Thanks for tuning in today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Brand for Good show. If you like what you heard, please hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and leave a review so other purpose-driven leaders can find this valuable content. To learn more about building a brand for good, please visit prosperforpurpose.com for more resources and information on all the ways you can work with us.